Hello, all. I want to talk about this week assignments, and I decided to go with one chapter this week rather than going with two chapters to make sure we can concentrate more. And also, we have a kind of new assignment I put here, and I am going to go and solve some of the problems that makes it easy for you. And let's start to see what we have here. Two discussion boards. One of them is a discussion board regarding how our stocks have been doing. And in the past, several days, the stock market has been dropping significantly. And the reason for it, one of the main reasons, is because of a trade war that the United States has started with China, Mexico, and Canada. That Donald Trump, the president, is saying that he has put some conditions. He's going to put some tariffs and means taxes to the imports of what Canada exports to the U.S. or what U.S. imports from Canada. Therefore, when the taxes go up, therefore things can become expensive. We might have recession, and the stock market doesn't like that. Now, one of the things is that I am asking you what your stocks are doing in the past several days and has been doing. I have done regarding my stock, which is the Amazon is my stock. Let me make it a little bit bigger. You see that how it has been doing. If you look at here, the Amazon, some time ago, a month ago, was 230. And from 230, it dropped all the way to today to 198. It has lost almost 15%. Let me see how I got. Let me tell you how I got this, chart. And I want you to get the same chart and post it on the discussion board and put some notes about what stocks of your, have been doing. I went here and I typed the stocks, and then here you go. And then I put Amazon. And as soon as you see, suddenly this chart popped up. And it shows today it has gone a little bit up because it is just in the one day. What I did, I clicked here for 1 month, and this is what has happened. As you see, stocks of Amazon has dropped by negative 34. It has dropped by 34 from 230 here. It has dropped all the way to this one, which is almost 14.99% in 1 month. Particularly in the past 5 days, it has been crazy, from 205 all the way to 197 and 6 months. If you look at 6 months ago, it was 180. It went and the people were happy to 236, and suddenly it dropped after, this trade war that is started. Do you see this November here is when, Donald Trump got elected, and suddenly that was a good news came that they thought Republicans, are going to reduce taxes, and it was a good news for the stock market. It went up, and suddenly, as soon as the issue of this trade war with things came, it dropped, and hopefully it will come back up. I put some of my notes if you want to put some notes about your stocks, and I said that the people who have invested, don't need to be worried about anything. Let's say if someone invested in Amazon and in IRA, traditional IRA, this person is 40 years old. What's going to happen to Amazon from now until the person who is 40 to become 60 years old? Because when you put in IRA, you don't want to withdraw, because if you withdraw money, you have to pay taxes, you have to pay penalty, you have to pay 10% penalty. However, if you become 59 and a half, you don't pay this penalty, and you have to pay, of course, by that time you have to pay taxes. Therefore, these are my notes. If you want to put some notes about your stocks, whatever you want, the stock has dropped less than others, you check about Amazon. If your stock, for example, is Walmart, again, you go to the same website here and you type, stocks, and you put Walmart. Here you go, Walmart, and then Walmart. And then you click here and you have here, and even you can click here and write some notes. If you look at Walmart pool, Walmart also has had 15%. Do you see 15% drop? And Walmart also had a bad news here. Do you see it was 104, and suddenly from 104 on February, maybe on February 18, and suddenly dropped. The reason I think it had this drop is that suddenly it said maybe it didn't make a lot of money. It's reported. Anyhow, if you want to do a little research about your stock, why it has not been doing well in the past few, days, you can go to Google, you can go to ChatGPT, why stocks are, but the best way is to do the research by yourself rather than, going to, ChatGPT. My recommendation is easy to find out, get some news and read, and sometimes ChatGPT provides you a news, and get the news from there and read and try to understand, and post this chart if you can. After I saw this, I clicked print screen, and then I went to the discussion board and posted. Therefore, what I want you to do is to give us an update regarding your what your stocks have been doing, and also respond to the posting of at least one student regarding his or her stocks, her Dow Jones, or his Dow Jones Industrial Average stocks. This is one way of us, the discussion. This is about the discussion. Another discussion is problems that I have. I am going to discuss about how to solve the problems, and those problems you already know from here. I solved all these problems for you, and I am going to talk about each one of them. That way you have some ideas what they are and how to solve them. And here are the problems. And let's look at here. This is, here this chapter talks about net asset value. Net asset value is that, imagine that I am a broker, I am a broker, and I will go and buy some stocks. Look at here. This is let's say I am a fund manager. I will go and buy stocks, let's say $70,000 stocks of Amazon, and 70,000 shares of Amazon. Imagine each one of them is $15. I buy stocks of, for example, Walmart, 135,000 of them, and I pay $20, for example, for each. We know that they are more expensive. This is the amount of money that I pay for all the shares. Stocks of another company, imagine this is stocks of, for example, Microsoft. I pay $30 for that, and it is a fund. I created a fund which is $9.9 million. Why do I do that? Because it's a mutual fund, or think about it. What I do is that I then come to you all, and you are the students. I say, hey, I am your instructor. I am a smart person, and you give me your money, and I am going to invest it for you. And rather than you go and buy the stocks of Amazon by yourself, you trust me and you give your money. Therefore, I can go and sell shares of my company. Now I have a company, I have a mutual fund. I say, you might say, okay, I said I am going to give you $100. You give me $100, and then I start selling, shares of this. Rather than selling Amazon share to you, I will sell shares of this. That means that when you give me your money, $100, your $100 goes a little bit of here, little bit of your $100 goes for this, little bit of this goes for this. Why do you do that? Why do you give that money to me? Because you think I can pick up good stocks for you. You don't go to other people. Because you come to me, therefore I will have a basket of stocks, and then that means I have created a mutual fund. And then I get a commission from all the investors that, imagine I have 1 million students, give me their money. Every year I put some money, and, get some salary, let's say $100,000 a year. And I know which stocks to invest. If I think that Amazon is not a good stock, I might sell it and buy, stocks of another company. Let's call the other company as Tesla, for example. Therefore, that is called mutual funds. And therefore, here, at any point, we have a total value of assets of a company, which is here. Therefore, let's call this as asset value of the company. And then the company here has some liabilities also, and which means as a company I am the owner of that unit. That means I bought all of this. You are the owner actually. I sell you shares. I am the manager, for example. Now, because I am a manager, of course, this company that I have created, it has some liabilities as well. What are the liabilities? Imagine that imagine I am a, executive of this company now. I am the, like a manager. I create some, I buy a headquarters, a corporate, the headquarters, imagine, is in New York, or in New York, and for I have to buy a building, I have to borrow some money. Therefore, there are some expenses for the company as well. Therefore, the net worth of the company becomes $9,280,000. That's the company. Now, number of shares. That means that the number of shareholders, you are the students. Imagine I go to each student, and total number of shares I sell to all of the students is $1,210,000. Therefore, if I divide this number by this number, that is the value of each share. Net asset value, NAV per share, net asset value. Therefore, if someone asks you, calculate the net asset value of this company, each share is equivalent to 7.60 cents, which means if another student wants to come and buy your share, this is how much you have to sell your share. Let's not forget, each share of Amazon was how much? $15. Each share of the Walmart was $20. Therefore, what the person is buying is not buying all shares of Amazon. It is buying the shares of this company, that this company has expenses, it pays me as the salary, and I am a good manager, and you are all trusting me, and that's why you are buying the shares of the company I created for $7.60. Your hope by giving me this money is because you are hoping that I am watching these stocks, and because I can analyze things, you know that I might sell some of these if I feel. I do a lot of analysis of the stocks of Walmart. If I feel Walmart is in trouble, I go and sell it, and then maybe I buy another stocks. That way I can have this asset will go up. As the stocks of Walmart or Amazon go up, these assets will go up, and as a result, the value of this will go up. When this goes up, which means that when I divide this money, this money, how did we calculate this money? We divided the net worth of the company, which is this number, by total number of shares, and then it came to this number. Anytime this goes up, when we divide it by this goes up. That means the value of shares of this fund, the net asset value, will go up. And this is the way this problem has been solved. And now I have assigned the students, and I have asked the students, there is a new assignment here that we are going to use Excel to solve, to put these three problems in Excel, which I have put that in there for you all to see how I did. I want you to take a look at stock A, 70,000 times this. Stock B, stock C. I allowed Excel to calculate this number for me. And then here is, look at here, this is Excel and problem number 1. And if you have not used Excel before, you let me know, and I will work with you, and I will train you how to use Excel. If you are a business manager, if you are a financial manager, you have to know how to use, Excel to put the problems. Do you see? It was stock A, and it was 7,000 shares. Each share was $15. We have to multiply this one by this one. Look at here. When I put this one, it says that the B1 times C1. How did I do that? Look at here. When I come to this, let's say to this box, I put equal sign. I click this number, and then I put times star. I put this number. I click on here, and I click enter. That gives me this number. Then I come here, I put my equal sign, I say this number times, I click here and click enter. That is stock B. We say the stock B, for example, is, at Walmart. Then I come here and we have, bought 25,000 shares of multiply by this number and I click enter. Therefore, these are all the money I spent for all of these stocks. Now I have to add them together. To add these together, I click on AutoSum. I click, sum. It is asking me, do I want to add all of this together? I click yes. And that is the total value of the money that I spent to buy all these stocks. That way I can sell them, sell them to you all. And then as a manager, I can make some money because of my good work and because I am expert. And then I had a kind of liabilities because I had bought a building for my corporation, and therefore the value of that building was $620,000. For example, I put $20,000, and I put the dollar sign here. Hopefully, it recognizes as money. Then now, if this is, you know that in accounting we say assets equal, assets minus liabilities is equal to owner's equity. Therefore these are assets, these are the liabilities. We subtract them to see how much of this money is belongs to, because this is what we owe to the bank. Therefore, the company's value at the moment, we have these are the assets, these are the liabilities. When we subtract them, this is, and we call it net assets. This number, let's see why it equal this number minus this number. And then I click enter. That is how much the net value of the company is. And these are the number of shares that I wanted to sell, or number of shareholders, shares we have. Some people might have 10 shares, some people, students might have 20 shares, and we want to know how much each share is, therefore we put the number of shares here, 1, 2, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. These are the shares. Therefore, if I subtract this one by this one, it gives me, how many, I put equal sign and I click here, divided by this number, and then I click enter. That is the value of each share of this company. Do you see how nicely I used Excel to do that? I want you to solve the problem, and problem number one, and number 2 and number 3. I will show you how to do number 2 and 3 and put them in Excel and submit this one to I have created, don't put it on the discussion board. I have created a submission box for this problem. And then, here it is. After you do that, you submit. This was problem number 1, which was this. That was the solution. NAV, net asset value per share, is $7.67. If you have one share of the company, my company you have is $7.67. Where is it distributed? A little bit of, $2 of it might be in Amazon. I put $2 of it in Walmart, $2, that's how it works, Then we come here, problem number 17-2. Let's see how this one is solved. If a mutual fund has a net asset value of 2380, which means it is this one, instead of 7.67, it is 2380, and the fund sells its shares for 25.40. You are wondering that if the net asset value is 2380, why is it selling more than that? There is a reason for it. When, this is the calculation in terms of this number, the company's value divided by the total number of shares. Why is it selling a little bit more? You know why? Because I might be such a good manager, of the company, and everybody likes, your share because they say it has a good manager. Therefore, we have to pay a premium which means they are paying a premium because my company is a better company than other people. Other people also invest, but they are not smart. They cannot pick good stocks that I pick. I am an excellent stock picker. In the past 20 years, I have picked many good stocks. For that reason, you are paying a premium to, instead of paying 23.80 for this share, you are paying a little more, and that is the premium. How much more you are paying? You subtract this number minus this number. You can use Excel to do that subtraction. What is the share discount as percentage of? Therefore, I deduct this number. I say that 25.40 minus 23.80, that will give me, suppose, dollar something. And then I get, because it says as a percentage of net asset value, I get that number and divide it by this. Therefore, I will show you how it works. Therefore, we come here. Do you see that? We subtract 25.40 minus 23.80. It is dollar, 60. And then the premium as percentage, we divide 160 divided by 23.80. And it says that, as a percentage of NAV, net asset value, it is 6.72%, and it is a premium. It's not discount. If I am not a good manager, guess what? Your share account book value of your share is 23.80, but if you want to sell it, the people, if I am not a good manager, the people are not going to pay you a premium. They will say, okay, they'll buy it from you, but if you sell it for $22, do you see, in that case, you are selling it as a discount rather than, How did I use Excel to do this calculation? I come here, and this is problem number 2. I said that the net asset value was $23. The price was $25. The difference, that was the premium, was this one. How did I calculate this number? Because I do you see here? I put an equal sign, and then I said this number minus this number, and I clicked enter. It came to $1.60. Then I came, how did I calculate this number here? Of course, this is not a percentage. I put equal sign. I said this number divided by this number, and I click enter. Do you know that this is now like this? I know that this is 6.7%. I can convert it into percentage. I right click on it. I click format cell, and I say I want to convert it to percentage with 2 decimal points. Do you see 6.72%? Therefore, I used Excel. Problem number 2. How did I write problem? Okay, this is problem number 2. I want you to do the same thing by putting these numbers and put them in Excel. Please make sure that you use formula. Just don't look at here. When I click on this 160, if you look at here, the formula is supposed to be showing here. Some students don't use formulas. They go here, they click here, and they type 1.60. You are not supposed to type this number here. You are supposed to use the calculation. Means when you come to this box, you put your equal sign, and then you click here, and then say click minus, and then click here and click enter. This is the same as this one. Use the formula. Do you see here? It says C4 minus divided by. Therefore, that is the one you do for problem number 2. And you create this Excel for problem number 2. Problem number 3, similar way. If I click here, and I want you to take a look at problem number 3, which is right here. If I come here, problem number 3 is that the mutual fund, an investor buys shares of a mutual fund for $20. This is not the net asset value. The net asset value, in fact, is how much? $24. Maybe it's not a good manager. I am not a good manager, and that's why net asset value is $24, but it is selling at a discount for $20. At the end of the year, the fund distributes dividend. Means I am the manager after, and I send money. I get dividends from Walmart, from my Amazon. I guess when I get it, I say, okay, let's give some of it to the shareholders, and I send you a check for 73 cents for every share that you have. If you have 2 shares, I send two of this amount, this green one. And then there is a net asset value. What is the investor's percentage of return? And therefore, what happens is that the investor receives 73 cents, and also the distribution, of 4.83, 24 minus, 83, and the net asset value of the share is okay. In fact, this is a good case scenario. Why? Because at the end of the year, do you see that? This is after 1 year. I was thinking it is today. After 1 year, it has gone from $20. It has gone to 24.83, which is a wonderful thing. Do you see that? That means you have made 4.83 cents. That means it has gone up. What you bought now has gone up. You have made 4.83 here. You have also made 73 cents here. Therefore, I have been a good manager, in fact, that I have been able to increase the $20 here to 24.73. Therefore, it has been an increase. Therefore, what happened is that you, on your $20 investment that you put, your investment has gone up by 5.56. Where did this money come from? $7, $4.83 of it came from here. And also you make 73 cents on interest. If you add this 73 cents interest with this $4.83, that becomes $5.50. You divide that to see what kind of return you had. You divide that by 20, you get 27.80%. That's a significant growth, because if you had put your money in Burke and Herbert Bank or Citibank, they might have given you 1%. Here you have got 27.8%. And therefore, I put this one in Excel as well. Do you see that's your initial money, 73 cents? This is, and then you got this one. And of course, to convert this one to percentage, you click here and you look at this when you are going to create your Excel to know what has happened. And then after you create this Excel, you are supposed to submit it in here. Let me show you where you have to submit. You come here, and here it says that submit your Excel sheet here. Do you see that? Problems number 1. Let me submit. I click here. Maybe it doesn't pop up on my screen. Yeah, it doesn't. And add attachment, and I click add, and you send this Excel to show me how you know how to solve these problems. Problem number 1, the numbers, let's not forget, these are calculations. Do you see here? You should have the calculation. Problem number 2, problem number 3. If some students want to do, I want you to do these 3 problems, use Excel. You already see the numbers. All you have to do is to put them in Excel. That way you get a sense. Some students might want to have an extra point. They can do problem number 4 as well. And then if they do that, if they can change the name, they can right click and, here is problem number 4. And then they will change the name, and and then they can create problem number 5, problem number 6, and they can put. But for now, I expect all students to do these 3 problems in Excel, and after they complete it, they can save it on their desktop, and then they come here and they go in here, and then after they go to here. And do you see here, it says problem? They click here and attach it here, and they get 10 points. I put a good video for you all to learn about the open-end funds and close-end funds. And as you see, it's a 12-minute video by a very good speaker, and you will learn what we mean by close-end funds. As I said, I am a fund manager. I create funds. I buy stocks, put them in a basket, and I sell it to the students. It can be open-ended fund or close-end funds. Therefore, you do this thing, you watch this video to understand, because you have some questions regarding this. Therefore, as you see, you have several assignments. One you have to post in here. One you have to post, your calculators. Look at here. I put my screenshot of the calculator in here. And then when I come here, I did, okay, it is for problem number 4. Problem number 4 once is telling you, and let me show you, hopefully I didn't get the chance to go to number 4, but if I explain it to you, you know what I mean. Number 4, it says that you put $39. Do you see here PV 39? You bought some shares of my company for 39 years, and you put your money for 7 years. Do you see this number 7 here? And then after 7 years, your mutual fund can be sold. The net asset value of the fund that you can sell is $50. I put negative 50. We want to see what kind of return you had. Therefore, you go to calculator here. And do you see that I want you to do this and do this calculation? Therefore, you bought your mutual fund for $39 per share. After 7 years, I put 7 years, your fund, you can sell your fund to someone else for $50. Therefore, that's negative 50. And you don't get any payments. Payments means I don't pay you any dividend over 7 years. And then the problem is asking you for internal rate of return. I click calculate, and it is 3.613, which means you have had 3.6% annual interest rate. That is the problem number 4. Then what I did, I clicked print screen, and I went to the discussion board here, and I put that calculator here, and I am showing that happened to this. I want you to create this screen and post it, and your screen is supposed to be exactly look like mine. Show that it's supposed. Where do you do that? Where can you find? You go to calculator.com. Here you go, calculator.net. I am sorry, and then you come here and you click on finance calculator. When you click on finance calculator, this is what you want to, find your return. And then it is asking you how many years. It is asking you how much you paid for that, mutual fund. And of course, you won't have any payment. Your payment is nothing. And here, your future value is $50. Let me show you the problem number 4. That way you understand. Do you see? This is problem number 4. And if you want to use mathematics, it's a difficult problem to solve, And do you see here, this is the mathematical calculation. And I made it easy for you. I said use calculator. Do you see the calculator that you are using? It says that put 39, rather than negative 39, you can put positive 39, but instead this 50, put negative. And then your payment is 0, number of years is 7, and then you get your percentage 3.61. When you put percentage return, when you answer this problem, that is 3.61. And what are these problems? These are the problems of the chapter I solved for you. These are 4 of them. I make another video for you and answer the rest of them. It can be easier. We have problem number, we have problem number 5. I have solved them. I will make another video for you to show you how I solve these problems. As you all know, today this week, we have 8 problems to solve. Where are these 8 problems? They are here. Let me show you. I already showed you once, and I am hopefully, this takes me, let me make this screen a little smaller. And if you don't know how to post things, what you have to post for this week, do not post the Excel on the discussion board, because each student has to do and submit it here. Here is, that you get grades for it, which is, here, Excel. You click here and submit your Excel there. If you don't know how to submit Excel, send me an email and I will help you. Therefore, what you do, you go and post here. And as I have posted what my stocks has been doing, the Amazon, I have posted my calculator. You do post the calculator there. Your calculator will show the same thing that my calculator is showing, And, if you look at, it shows 7%. It shows, here it is. Your calculator, you are supposed to have this screenshot exactly like this, and of course it has to be your computer, screenshot of your computer. If you don't know how to put this one in here, watch what the other students are doing. That is another assignment that you have. That means 2 discussion board for this week. You watch this video, you will learn a lot. This is a reading and check your knowledge. You have a practice test, and in homework, this is a homework with 8 assignments, which I already showed you 3 of them and showed you how to use Excel to solve these problems. And it is coming up, as you see, these are, 8 of them. You already saw this one. I used Excel to solve this, and your answers will go here. I showed you part of this, and I am going to show you with another, hopefully tomorrow, I will make a video and show you how I solved this one. You already saw what return you had, 13. You remember I used calculator. You can use calculator to solve this. I will show you, send you another video how to do this. You don't need to use Excel to do this calculation because your Excel assignments is only for these 3 I already showed you. But if some students want extra point, they want to put this one in their Excel sheet, they can do that. I give them extra point. But if you don't submit this using Excel, do not submit this through Excel, no problem. But these 3 are supposed to, be on Excel. If you have any questions, send me an email. I will help you. You have been doing great. So far, 5 students have heavily invested in the stock market. Their stocks have been dropped possibly by $1, $2. These are not significant drop for them because these are, we are a small investor. $1, $2 don't change our lifestyle. But the good thing is that when the stocks drop, they call it buying opportunity. Some smart investors, they wait, and after the stocks drop significantly, that's when they buy, they invest because they buy the stocks very cheap, Therefore, these students are in a right track now, and more students are asking me to help them. I am in process of helping 2 more students. Hopefully, we will get more students to invest. And so far, so good. If you have any questions, let me know.